teaching others, because when I first got into the healthcare field, people overlooked me. I was really a ninth grade dropout who had no education, but I was determined to make something of myself for my baby. So Motor City matched the funds I put into my business. They awarded me $20,000. So now I'm able to focus solely on first step healthcare training and give it everything it needs. All because I live in Detroit.
I'd like to welcome you to this edition of In the Conference Room with Mark S. Lee. I hope you're sitting back and relaxing and getting ready as we're entering the holiday season. I know it's hard to believe that Christmas is right around the corner. And right behind that is, guess what? New Year's. That's right, brand new year 2025. As you know, this is your source for information from across the great city of Detroit, the state of Michigan, as well as across the country. We invite business leaders, for-profit, nonprofit leaders to come into the conference room and share information with you. This week is no exception. I'm so happy to welcome into the conference room, Dr. Christian Greer, and he's the president of the Michigan Science Center, and he's going to give us some good information on that beautiful facility in Midtown Detroit. Christian Greer, thanks for joining me in the conference room. How you doing? Good to see you.
Good to see you, Mark. What's up? How you doing?
Happy holidays to you.
Yeah, same to you. It's really great to be on your show. I see all the wonderful guests that you have on there, and it's good to be one today. So excited to talk to you.
Well, we're so glad to have you. And let's just start right there. The Michigan Science Center. Give us an overview and a little bit of backstory before he does that. My family, my son and his wife came over from Chicago and had a wonderful experience at the Science Center. And so that prompted me to reach out to Dr. Greer, the Christian, and say, let's talk about what's happening at the Science Center. So give us an overview for those not from Detroit. Give us an overview of the Science Center, the Michigan Science Center.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it was good to hear that your family had a good time because that's what we're all about. If you go to our website, my-sci.org, that's mi-sci.org, you'll see plastered right on the front. It says, "We put you at the center of science." And that's what we're all about. We want people to feel like science is for them, not for somebody else. It's something that you can do. When you think about the ideas of curiosity, discovery, uncovering, principles about how the world works, that's what science is really all about. It's a process as well as the products of the things that you see in terms of our knowledge. We try to put people at the center of that and give them a chance, the tools to be able to discover for themselves. And it's a wonderful place. We're based in Midtown Detroit on the corner of John R. and Warren, sort of right across the street from the Wright Museum, as well as the DIA. And so we're in the cultural district. We like to have a lot of fun because we're a hands-on museum, so feel free to touch things and manipulate stuff. But more importantly, you have to bring your inner genius to the Science Center because we want to try to draw it out.
What's interesting, you say it's hands-on, and I call my mini me also my young grandson. From what I understand through my son and my daughter-in-law, is that they could have stayed in there literally all day. He loves the sciences. He loves to get his hands dirty, so to speak, and they love the fact that it was hands-on. And I think they stayed for 3 or 4 hours, and they would tell him he could have stayed for another 5 hours. So it gets to exactly what you're saying because he loves the hands-on experience. And apparently, he had a great time just getting his hands on all these different objects, so to speak.
Yeah, there's a pedagogy that is called embodied learning. And embodied learning, the concept is to really get your body and your mind to work together. So it's interesting, we go and we spend time in class, and let's say you take science or STEM class, and then you go out for recess. But embodied learning would say that the recess and the science teaching should actually be the same thing. Because when your body starts moving, it gets these messages that something important is going on. And we miss the opportunity to really teach kids. So you'll notice that in some of our programs, especially for our exhibit in Gamers Village, where we do sort of a digital projection on surfaces and kids can like dance on top of the screen type of thing. We also have like a mixed reality type of experience in our dinosaur exhibit. It's called Tyrannosaurus Meet the Family, and you get a chance to walk with dinosaurs. Well, that kind of movement really sticks. It helps the learning to stick, and it gives kids an opportunity to be able to learn new things. Adults as well, because Very often, in this information age that we're still in, we're picking up things all the time that we're learning. But I think what we try to do at the Michigan Science Center is really give you the proper schema. And the schema is basically where you put that knowledge, almost like the bookcase behind you.
Mhm.
In your mind, there's certain places when you learn something, hopefully you have a place to put it. But very often in today's day and age, things come so quickly that you're getting information, you're not really sure where to put it. We want to give people an opportunity to create their own schemas and think about how they might learn about the natural world and the universe and beyond.
And as you're talking and reflecting on the school system, the educational system. In my days, you're growing up, you growing up, we took a science class,
Yeah.
and I'm sure there still are science classes, don't get me
Right,
wrong, but
right.
certainly times have changed where obviously the funding reductions, the reallocation of resources, this is a wonderful opportunity from my perspective, for young people and adults to get that experience that maybe they used to get in the classroom as younger adults and as our kids were even younger while they were in school as well.
Oh, yes, Mark. And we noticed that during the pandemic where there was that possibility of extended learning loss because people were not in the classroom. At that time, I negotiated the traveling exhibit. It was called Math Alive. And I
Mhm.
was really worried about sequential subjects and the effect of not being able to be in class. If you miss a day of math, you've missed a week. If you miss a week of math, you missed a
Yeah,
month, you miss a month. Well, forget it. You got to take the week, take the class.
yeah,
So because these sequential things that build upon each other are so important. So if you miss that train, you're really creating a gap in your knowledge. So we thought that Math Alive would be a great way of getting kids to continue to think about the learning. And though, a lot of the video games that they play online actually sneak in a lot of STEM concepts. So I don't think we give video games the credit that they deserve for kids learning problem solving skills, how to create projects, build things, and strategies. And I think that we're building a new future of strategists and problem solvers just based on the video games. So we've tried to incorporate that into our learning. And I think it would be great for schools to do more things with games. Because
yeah.
kids, again, back to the recess, kids love to play games. They love to challenge you, see what they can do, push the boundaries, and keep score. And to some extent, your score should be more than just the GPA. There's some personal bests that people
Yeah.
have in science. I know I've had a few. I study physics, and there were some things in math that I didn't learn until I took the GRE for graduate school.
Mm.
And you miss stuff. But the question is for me, do you have the right mindset for learning? How can you incorporate that? So, regardless of the information that's coming, you have a way of processing, challenging your existing thinking, and building for the future. And that's kind of like built into what we do.
And as we talked at the beginning of the top of this discussion, obviously it's the holiday season. Kids are
Yeah.
getting out of school for the next 2 or 3 weeks until early
Yeah.
January. Excuse me. So, of course, parents are going to be looking for something to keep their kids active and certainly engaged. And talk to us about some of the activities that are taking place at the Science Center between now and going into early January as well, during the holiday
Yeah.
season.
Yeah, well, we appreciate you allowing us to profile this because we have some opportunities. We're both parents, and you're always looking for ways to do some productive stuff with the kids so they don't just do the mindless things. But
Yeah.
on weekends from December 21st through January 12th, we'll be extending our hours. And last year, we realized that there were a lot of people that during the holiday season ended up coming later in the day, and we were closed and couldn't take advantage of that. So we'll be staying open until 6 p.m. Our hours will be 10 to 6 p.m. on those weekends from December 21st to January 12th. And we also are doing a lot of cool things. People may not know that we have a laser system, a 5 channel digital laser system embedded within the IMAX. We put that in during the pandemic as well to give us more flexibility. We're playing a choreographed show called Laser Holiday Magic. So if you like laser shows, whether adults and kids alike, you can do that. Those will be during the holidays and through the weekends as well. They have different kinds of animations and music is playing. It's just kind of a fun sensory experience. And then also in the IMAX theater, we have Dinosaurs of Antarctica. So you may notice that we're doing a dinosaur theme, and
Right.
yeah, of Antarctica is a really great show. I love IMAX. This is probably the third or fourth IMAX theater that I've been responsible for in my career at different places. And I just love the immersion that IMAX takes you there. And it's an opportunity. If you've never seen Antarctica, this is an opportunity to see it. Then we also have a Noon Year's Eve, Noon Year's Eve. And that's where we allow young kids to celebrate New Year's Eve in the middle of the day at noon. So it's kind of a fun way before, so they don't have to stay up at light. You can have them do their
Hey,
celebration.
that's good. That's good for me.
It's great, and then the
I
parents can
can
go
still.
on their fun night, right?
Yeah.
So, New Year's Eve, this starts on Tuesday, December 31st. We'll be hosting this event, and it allows us to celebrate lots of cool things. Instead of staying up to midnight, you just do it at noon, and then the kids can get to bed early. And there's fun demonstrations and activities, and the whole building is really going to be activated for that experience. Our biggest feature, though, is Tyrannosaurus Meet the Family. You may have seen around the city, we have a number of billboards promoting Tyrannosaurus. We worked really hard to get this exhibition here. It is coming to us from the Australian Museum. A group of paleontologists in the early 90s discovered a giant T-Rex fossil skeleton called Scotty. They celebrated their find by drinking a bottle of scotch, and that's the way he got his name, Scotty. But this thing is huge. Seeing a
Yeah.
T-Rex like Sue, that's at the Field Museum in Chicago, which both of us have been to over the years. I remember when Sue opened to the public, I was working at Shedd Aquarium at the time, and we all came across the street to see this big opening. And Sue is in a predatory pose, with the little tiny arms kind of looking at you. But Scotty is standing almost straight up. So you can see just how big the Tyrannosaurus Rex is. And you learn about the family of dinosaurs, the super family of dinosaurs or Tyrannosaurs. So that's fun. We have other activities that are going on where we get a chance to do fossil digs. So we have like small little tables that kids can go and find fossils that are from places in Michigan, in which we worked with Paleo Joe and other kinds of paleontologists to bring that to you. And it's just like a fun thing to happen.
Mhm.
And this includes our planetarium. It includes our games exhibit, Gamers Village. It includes our play lab. We'll be opening on a sort of prototype level. We have embedded within the Science Center almost a children's museum with little mini exhibit galleries. It's called Kids
Mhm.
Town. It's been closed since
Mhm.
those torrential floods that we had in 21. We're
Right.
reopening it. And so for families with young children, this is going to be the place to be. And the reason why we do all this is that kids just need this stimulation with
Yeah.
their parents. Although we bring them there, they also see us getting into it, whether it's making paper airplanes. I always try to challenge my kids to making paper airplanes, to discovering new things and looking through a digital microscope. We also have virtual reality that we'll be doing. Mark, it's going to be a great time,
That's,
and the holiday is a great time to bring the family. Grab somebody's kids, tell them to come down.
that's
Say, hey,
going
take the
down.
kids for the day to your neighbors. Go have a good time, and you guys go out on a date night, and we'll have fun at the Science Center.
That is awesome. And as we wrap up and begin to close up, excuse me, I understand too, I think the Michigan Science Center, I thought I saw somewhere was ranked as one of the best in the entire country. Is that right?
Oh, yes, yes. We have for the last about 4 years been ranked in the top 10, and the last
Top
3 years
ten.
we've been in the top three of science centers across the United States, ranked by USA Today. They have a 10 best contest of a lot of different things from history museums to national parks. And we get a chance to be on that list. And what an honor for Detroit, the Southeastern Michigan, and the
Absolutely.
state to have someone like us just kind of like competing with against other museums across the country. So we're top three. We're also a Smithsonian affiliate. So we bring Smithsonian resources in our Spark Lab for innovation. We have a big NASA grant that we received just recently, one of the few in the country for that. And we also partner with Lego Foundation and do a lot of
Mm.
exhibits on learning through play. So you can learn more about us at my-sci.org. That's mi-sci.org, where we put you at the center of science.
Dr. Christian Greer, I got to tell you, man, I appreciate this conversation. This is awesome. I mean, Detroit has a lot of momentum right now,
Oh, for
obviously.
sure.
Hey,
Yeah.
hey,
We
the
got to keep
Lions have a lot of
flying.
got to keep up with the Lions and everybody else in the city. I've known you for several years now. I want to just personally say we appreciate your hard work, everything you're doing, because you are truly an outstanding leader. And for you to take the Science Center to the level and the levels it's currently achieving, that's kudos to you and your team. Thank you very much for joining me.
We appreciate being on this show and good to luck to you and Happy New Year in advance.
Absolutely. To all you tuning in, we want to wish you a happy holiday season. I may have another one before the holidays, but if not, I want to wish you all a very happy holiday season, a Merry Christmas, Happy Kwanzaa, Happy New Year, whatever your affiliation may be. Go out, make it a great day, make it a great week. And we will check you out next time in the conference room with Mark S. Lee. And before I go, let me say one more time, go Lions.
I love teaching others because when I first got into the healthcare field, people overlooked me. I was really a ninth grade dropout who had no education, but I was determined to make something of myself for my baby. So Motor City matched the funds I put into my business. They awarded me $20,000. So now I'm able to focus solely on first step healthcare training and give it everything it needs. All because I live in Detroit.